Time for some protective DIY on the CRF, and hopefully it doesn't turn into DIY. You know what I mean. Okay, when I say protective DIY, what am I talking about? And this is what I'm talking about. Even then, I'm not sure many people would know exactly what I'm talking about right away, because literally all this is just a spool of cable and some crimps and a crimp tool. What am I talking about? I'm talking about lever savers. At least I think that's what they're called. I'm not 100% sure. But there are some aftermarket levers, shift levers and brake levers that will come with a cable on the very end with a point at the other end to fix to the frame, to the skid plate, some point on the bike. What that does is that basically saves the levers from breaking in the case of an impact. So if you're in off-road or on-road actually, and you have a particularly hard slide or something like that, one of the points of contact will be those levers, the shift lever and the brake lever, and it could be big enough that the actual impact snaps that. And if you're off-road in the middle of nowhere, you kind of want a shift lever. So what this is going to do, in theory, is take the brunt of that impact, this cable, and keep the shift lever or the brake lever from snapping entirely. So basically what we're going to do is cut and crimp some cables for both sides. And so I have all the tools necessary here. As I said, I have some cable. This is the 33 feet of 1/8 inch cable, which is pretty cheap. You can find this on Amazon. I think I found it for about 10 bucks. It actually came with this set of crimps, so it's the exact same size. So this basically crimps down and secures a loop of it, which I will put on one of each side. And then I have a crimping tool here to actually clamp down on that and secure it. You could also use channel locks, whatever big plier you have will work just fine as well. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. I'm gonna work on the brake side first, so I will meet you over there. So we're starting on the brake side because this is the easiest side ever, because Honda actually provides us with all the holes already. There's actually a hole already on the brake pedal right here, which is perfect. And there's already a hole in the skid plate for this overflow hose. So I'm just gonna loop the wire between these two. We'll get started on one side. We'll probably start with this side. Get some heat shrink on there as well, just kind of as a protective barrier so it doesn't rub through the cable. And then we'll get this all cinched up, and then we can work on the other side because we do have to worry about how much slack we leave in this, which I'll show you later. But we can at least start with the pedal itself. We'll get that crimped on and see how much space we need, or how much length we need to get to this side. So we're halfway through one side, so quarter of the way there? That sounds about right. We have everything attached at the brake pedal, which is great. And now the only thing that we want to keep an eye on is how much slack do we want to put between this and the skid plate here. If we cinch this all the way down, it's going to have no movement whatsoever. So we got to make sure that this is at least a little bit of slack when this brake pedal is maxed out. And so you could push on it right here, but the pads are currently touching the discs. I'm going to take the screwdriver here and carefully pry open the pads just a little bit. That way this brake pedal has its full range of motion. So that way we're accounting for everything. We're going to push this down and at the same time just kind of roughly mark where I want the crimp to go on this end so that it has at least a little bit of slack all the way down like this. That should give us enough. So I'm just gonna mark it right here. Now, before I loop that thing around, we gotta actually put the heat shrink, then the metal clamp. Now I got the heat shrink and the crimp on there. We can go ahead and finish this side. Make sure that that's tight. There we go. we have our pedal brace. Perfect. Ow, that's hot. All right, with the brake side done, we're now on the shift lever side. So this one's not going to be as friendly as the other side was. We don't have those pre-drilled holes to work with. So we have to make a hole here on the skid plate, and we have to make a hole here. Although actually I don't think I want to make a hole because this does taper down and I don't want to impact the structural integrity right here. So what I'm thinking of doing actually with the shift lever is just wrap the cable around it right at this elbow. And so it'll be tight enough, and I think that plus the fact that it's going to be connected forward, so any pressure on the cable is going to be facing forward to keep it from sliding along this lever right here anywhere. With the skid plate, I'm just going to drill a hole on the plastic, and I'm going to put a piece of wood in here to make sure that I'm not hitting the engine case, obviously, because I'm too lazy to take off the skid plate and do that off the bike. So should be pretty easy, but if not, watch me struggle. Fire in the hole. That was easy. Full range of motion, clicking through the gears. And it's as simple as that. Little fiddly, I'll admit, but otherwise pretty easy and pretty simple. Nice, effective, and hopefully will keep my shift lever and my brake lever where it's supposed to be. Now that I have this, and with the bar risers that I did recently, I think it's a good chance to go off-road again. So, look forward to that, and thanks for watching.